I'm back with another triggering topic. Now, when I posted my last video about the double standards that black men have for black women, and I had said in the video, don't make me start really posting about the things that are really causing damage in our community. And I had a few black men on my different pages talk about it as if it was all revealed. It was going to point to the fault of the black woman. And I kind of just really dismissed their comments. And I was like, I don't really want to go in because I don't want to cause division. But I think that I have some emotional unpacking to do because although these black men don't pull any punches when it comes to their quote unquote critiques of black women, which really is just hate packaged as critique. And I was like, still, I'm not going to go in like I could. But that was until I saw this latest report where a young black man, 24 years old, going to college and working, breaking his cycle and trying to be the best man that he could be, he was unalived by two black men at Waffle House because he was able to go inside to order his food because he was an employee there. And they were upset, although they could still place their order through the window, but they couldn't get in the restaurant because it was closed and they weren't able to enter. So they were very angry about that. Now, after I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to y'all how I see many of the men online talk to us, since it's just a critique. But before I get into that, I'm going to show y'all a clip and I'll be right back. And please don't go anywhere because what follows is going to be eye-opening.
Family tells me the 24-year-old had a routine. He went to EMT school. He would come here to the Waffle House where he worked to eat. Then he would head home. But they say that routine was violently interrupted on Wednesday.
Khalil doesn't talk. He's to himself. He's real quiet, real chill.
Family members say they were floored when they got the call that Khalil Goss was killed. They say the 24-year-old was leaving EMT school and headed to Waffle House where he worked as a cook just to get a bite to eat. His family tells me his co-workers let him into the restaurant, which angered other customers who could only order from the window.
They wouldn't let them in because they were closed and you had to order at the window. But they opened the door for Khalil because he was the cook, and they kind of pushed the other two guys out.
Once Khalil, who graduated from King High in 2017, got ready to head home, the angry men were still outside and opened fire on the 24-year-old as he got in his car.
They started shooting, ran up to his car, started shooting inside of the car. The waitress was telling him to get out the car and to run in the back door. She's like, come to the back, come to the back. And he tried to make it to the back, and then they started shooting him in his back. So she said he was stumbling and he fell.
Now, when you see these videos from these black men that are proclaiming to be kings and hooting and hollering about wanting to be submitted to, and they're the man and they want to lead you, you never hear them talk about the true issues in our community. They never behave like true leaders. They spend 24/7 hollering about black women's hair, female rap, attacking anything that black women enjoy, saying they're too educated, they make too much money, but they're not intelligent and don't have money and are leeches, and calling black women fat and talking about their BMI statistics. And you know what? That's not what leaders do. They address the problems at hand that are most pressing. And when someone ever confronts them with the truth, they immediately turn it around on the black woman, the black mother. And I want to know, in what world are the decisions that you make as an adult the fault of your parent? Or why is it that there are people that have been raised horribly but still manage to turn their lives around and become productive members of society? But somehow, some way, black men find a way to completely avoid taking accountability for their decisions. Your mother didn't make you kill your brother because you couldn't get into the Waffle House. The single mother is not to blame for the leading cause of death for the black male being homicide. And over 90% of the time, it is at the hands of another black male. Or that a gun violence study shows that the black male homicide rate is the highest in the nation, and firearm deaths for black women has also increased dramatically. And guess who's doing that to black women? You guessed it, the black male as well. And the black femicide rate It says in this article 4 per day, but I think it has now gone up to 5. And I think you already know who is doing that. Now, that's not the fault of the single mother who decided to keep you and raise you and feed you. You can say that it's the fault of the black male rappers selling out the community and glamorizing drugs and murder. Now, it's crazy to me that you can blame the black mother for the reason why you make up 52.7% of the arrests for robbery, or 51.2% of the arrests for murder, or 26.7% of the arrests for rape. If it is the single black mother household and her problem, then why are black women doing better than you? How so, you may ask? Well, let's talk about it. Crime-wise, rates for incarcerated black women declined by 70%. Black women have higher homeownership rates. Black women are more employed than black men who have the lowest employment rate. My question is this: why are all these podcasts not dedicated to the problems that black males are having? Why are you not centering content around the black male improving his circumstances instead of bashing a group of women you claim that have nothing to offer you, that you claim you don't like and you don't want, and that you claim that any other man's DNA and their daughters are better than what you have had a hand in creating? Now, you would rather talk about black women and hair weaves and their BMI. I'm confused. You would rather do that than address why a young black man can't go into Waffle House and pick up his food without being gunned down by two buck-broken, bitter, beta, brainwashed bandit bitches. Honestly, now I saw a man say just today that the enemy of the black man is the black woman, and she has done him far worse than the white man ever has. Now, that is the most twisted, insane comparison I've ever heard. The white man continues to have his foot on your neck till this day. He enslaved you. He took your women and raped them. He told you that you were inadequate and ugly. He told you that you were an animal and that you don't even deserve the same basic human rights as him. He can come and kill you and call the police and get off scot-free. He can bash your image in the media. He can pay you pennies while he makes millions off of you selling music that is negatively affecting the black male youth community. And he can pretend that he isn't purposely destroying you. Now, he can redline you and force you to stay where he wants you to live. He can deny you loans so that you can't have generational wealth. He can pass laws purposely to disenfranchise you. He can show you what racism is in your face and then tell you, oh no, that's not what it is. He can put his knee on the back of your neck and take your life. He can flood your communities with guns and drugs to keep you at the bottom. He can tell you that your Negroid features are ugly and white is best. And what do? Get on your knees and agree and say, yes, massa, the white man is God. She is so much better than my mothers and sisters. She's so feminine. She's the epitome of success. I want your white DNA to take the ugly black out of my family line. I need these light-skinned children. He can abuse you and degrade you, and you have zero, and I mean zero, smoke for him. But you have all the smoke for the women that without them, you wouldn't even have breath in your body. You choose the weakest link that there is to try to bully. What type of man do you think that makes you? Because y'all don't even go for the white woman. Y'all go for your own and degrade them. And y'all think that we're the problem? I'm telling you, seriously, as I do these videos and as I research more, honestly, there is something deeper here at play. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is a problem. And although I don't think it's all black men, I do think, however, that it is a very large portion, and the ones that are of right mind are not speaking up enough. And before I get bombarded with comments like, why do you care? Forget them. Let's have nothing to do with them. Let me say that these men are still in our communities, and we need to come up with some solutions. Now, do I think talking about it or any solutions that we come up with are going to work? If you want me to keep it 100, I don't really think so. But if me speaking up as a black woman can even help one or two black men to break the cycle of broken bitterness and blame, then I'll feel as if I've done my part. Now, I just digress, okay? If you watch this whole video, please drop a 21 in the comments. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to get my podcast popping, that's no problem at all. Just do me a free favor and subscribe to my YouTube and drop me a like. The link is in my bio. And as always, drop your comments down below.